everybody. How are y'all? Y'all having a good time? I'm having a great time.
Let's see, testing, testing. Hey guys. Yeah, I hope you're all well and good. And thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Sunny, and I'm from the Render Foundation. I look after grants. So this is kind of a really good segue from what Ricky and Blake were talking about with grants, how artists can really utilize that to render when you're running low on time. You want to really get some of these renders done. The network is here to support you. And what I'd love to introduce today is Render Royale. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what it is. Let's see. Oh, it is up there. The Premiere monthly 3D art contest. So it will be launching on the 1st of May. Essentially, a global contest where 3D artists can showcase all of their creativity, all of the things that they really want to push the boundaries of. It's going to be an amazing thing, and everyone can use the Render Network for this. And it kind of stems off last year. We held an Advent contest. So every day in December, there were submissions for art, and there were prizes. And these prizes were quite substantial. Some of the works that were submitted, I'll quickly play some of these now. So some of the artists who actually submitted these, they worked on these projects previously, but they re-rendered them at a higher resolution, especially for the contest. And that's absolutely allowed. We're more than happy for people to do that. Or if you want to create original works, and that is ideally what we want you to do. This is spectacular. This is a guy who's, I think, 20 years old, who's creating a film all by himself, and his dad is actually doing the sound design. Just in graphics. Absolutely follow him over on Twitter. This is by Omid, who is actually here as well. This was using Blender cycles. And another one which is quite scientific. Yeah. So why should you enter? It's very simple. $1,000 plus in monthly rewards or prizes. So and you also get free credits to actually render your work as well. So not only are we going to give you a reward for coming first or second or third, but you're also getting free credits to render. So the best of both worlds, really. And because we have such a good relationship with places like Art Basel, there's Art Tech House, IBC, and many other events, there's a huge opportunity there, right?
Yeah. It's really exciting, being able to submit your artwork and then having it displayed in some of these amazing places like IBC, Art Basel, and being able to get your name out there and the visions, and you're not only supporting the Render Network, but being able to get out there and be seen is fantastic.
It's so good. Getting your eyes, getting more eyes on your work from industry professionals, just all over the world, and it's such a cool thing that we're able to offer. And for me, being part of the Render Network team, it's such a privilege to be able to chat with so many artists and really see what they're up to. And
it's one thing that I'm really excited about this. When Sonny, when you initially sent me, by the way, hi, I'm Matt Milstead. I run mograph.com. It's a social media site for artists and stuff like that. You should sign up. If you have an Otoy account, you have a Mograph account. So mograph.com. Our big push is community and stuff like that. And Sonny, when you sent me the initial briefing for this, I was really excited because, the community, I feel like, has been a little lacking in like events and stuff like that. This has been fantastic. RenderCon has been fantastic. And I'm super excited to do this, not only for the fact that, people will be able to use the network and it'll, bring more eyes towards the network, but also, there are actual prizes involved.
Actual prizes, and it's it's a great thing. The feedback from last year's Advent contest was that people absolutely loved it. They just couldn't get enough of it. So we like to really extend on that. So this year it's more of a monthly contest. So you've got a lot more time to really take a considered approach, really figure out what it is you want to develop and produce and render on the network. And another thing is that there's monthly themes. So we've thought about this. So for example, fantasy worlds, urban utopias, underwater realms, post-apocalyptic visions. We all know artists who...
That underwater one, man, that's going to take a lot of render tokens to render.
It's going to take a lot. It is. But we're here. We can absolutely provide those credits for you guys to render. This is the prize breakdown. So first place, $1,000, right? That's nothing to sniff at. Second place, $500, and third place, $250. But that's not the only thing.
This is the exciting part.
This is the exciting part. Yeah.
Some of y'all may be like, oh, well, I'm a Blender user, or I'm using Redshift, or I specifically use Octane. And the prize breakdown actually breaks it up for all three.
Exactly. So we're supporting all artists. Essentially, if you use Redshift, if you use Octane, or if you use Blender Cycles, you can participate. And there's separate rewards, separate prizes for each of those categories. Because, the Blender community is absolutely huge. The Cinema 4D community, who uses, either Octane or Redshift, is huge. Redshift community themselves.
I will have to say, and I've got to give you props, the Render Foundation, because the Redshift integration in the Render network has been absolutely just fantastic.
Yeah.
I was recently, I'll just tell a quick story. I was recently working on a job for the NHL, and I'm an Octane fanboy myself. So I have my entire system at home set up for Octane, all my computers. But I'm not set up for Redshift. I didn't want to spend an additional like $2,000 for Redshift licenses in order to get all my system at home working. So luckily, Sunny was nice enough to throw me some tokens in order to get some of these things rendered. And the speed and the accuracy. Anytime I ran into a problem, it wasn't the render network. It was me. But yeah, it's really solid. And so I do have to give you guys props for that. So I'm really excited to see the new integration with Blender as well.
Yeah, it's so cool. And the great thing is the artist support team is fantastic. They're artists themselves. So they use the tools day in, day out professionally for, various productions. So if you've got any queries or anything whatsoever, if something isn't working as you think it should, the support is super fast. I think somebody mentioned previously one of the AI agent talks that they were speaking with the devs constantly, and when something wasn't working as it should, in a couple of days, boom, done. And it's a similar thing in terms of the Blender integration, for example. So right now it is. I think it is live on the network.
It is.
And while it was in closed beta, there were obviously going to be various teething issues, but those were resolved very quickly. And going back to the Redshift integration, it actually works phenomenally well on the Render network. I know originally the network started off with Octane, which works brilliantly too. But if you do use Redshift, it's just, it's opened those doors there.
Also, for those who haven't used the Render network in a while, like I was an early adopter to it, and then, I ran into some issues with Orbex files and stuff like that, like you do. But since they've added the ability to upload straight C4D files, which is fantastic, and normally when using any other like render farm, you run into the problem of having to download all those files. Well, there's now the ability to add your Dropbox or a server in order to automatically download. So by the time they get finished rendering, they're already on your computer, which is just amazing.
Yeah, so the devs have been working hard. Last year, we rolled out the Cinema 4D Wizard. So it's like a one-click solution, right? So whether you use Octane or Redshift, one click and it will package the file, it checks the scene, and it even opens up the render portal, so you're able to just drag and drop straight in there. And it's a cool thing. The feedback has been exactly as you said.
Yeah, it's great.
Phenomenal feedback. We've also got things like differential upload, which one of our guys, Spencer, in the audience, he's done some fantastic tutorials and explaining how that works. So there's many tools that we're consistently and constantly developing just to make the artist, that user experience much more smooth.
Yeah. For those who don't know what differential upload is, it's in Octane standalone. So if you're uploading to the render network, you can do it in a specific way to where if you need to make changes, the network will already see that you already have one uploaded and just update based off of those changes. So if you've got really massive files, like say you're working in Houdini and you move it over to Octane standalone, it'll see those updates and be able to put those up. So it saves you time.
Yeah, time. And time is one of the greatest things because the render network saves time. It's phenomenal. We have artists who are working from a laptop in Thailand, right, in a remote village. As long as they've got an internet connection, they're able to produce fantastic works, right? You don't need a huge rig. You don't need
You don't, no.
4090s or anything like that. You just need an internet connection and your ability to actually use the tools that you have and send that to the network.
Yeah. My favorite thing is sending something to the network and seeing all the little nodes start to light up and you're like, wow, I couldn't do this at home.
It is cool. It is cool. And then when you get that result, all of those frames in your Dropbox or your AWS bucket or whatever it is, it's just cool. Really cool. And how this works is the theme will be announced on the 1st of every month. You need to submit by the 25th. The render must be completed on the render network.
And it can be both stills or video, correct?
It can be stills or video. Yeah. Obviously, if you submit stills and someone else submits videos, it's...
You get a few extra points on the videos.
Yeah, probably. Obviously, we'd need the title of your work, any kind of description, the render engine that you've used, and a job ID just to confirm that you have actually used the render network. And the judging criteria is pretty simple as well. The theme interpretation, creativity and originality, any technical execution, the storytelling, which is crucial to a good render. And then there's going to be community voting and judging. So like Matt will be one of the judges. We're yet to determine some of the others.
I take bribes.
But it's going to be a cool community event. So within the Blender community, the Redshift community, and Octane, it's just a fun thing to participate in. So absolutely, you are welcome to join us. More information about this will be released on the 1st of May, and you will find that at the Render Foundation website. And literally, share it on your socials. When you do submit something, you're more than welcome to tag the Render Network into that and hashtag Render Royale. And you know what? We will absolutely retweet and share and get more eyes onto your work. And that's kind of what this is about. It's about empowering the artist.
Creating, and building that community,
Exactly.
when you're sharing a common goal of competition and stuff, it's fun and it brings people together as artists.
It does. It really does. And we also host weekly spaces as well. So over on Twitter, or X as it's now called.
I love that everyone says X, Twitter, X.
Yeah. So that's something that we love to do as well. Part of just engaging with the community. And, quite frequently we have artists who, come onto the spaces and share some of the new work that they've done. There's many artists in the Web3 space now who are using the Render Network specifically because they use Blender. So the Blender Cycles integration is really helping there. They absolutely love it. Yeah.
Sonny, when all the information gets announced, will there be a request for actual tokens to be able to use the network?
They will.
Okay.
They will.
Or will they need to contact you personally?
Either way. I mean, previously with the Advent contest, what we had was just a little box at the top of the submission page. So you were able to click that and request more credits. And then that would go directly to myself. And then I will top you up some credits. And then you can get rendering. Yeah. Nice and easy.
Does anybody have any questions? Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you enter in all three?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You can absolutely enter in all three. Yeah. So if you're
Three
that,
times the chances to win.
if you're that multi-talented,
Right.
yeah, absolutely be my guest.
Just switch your render engine each time, right?
If only
go,
if it was-
go into Blender, go Cycles, yeah, then go Redshift.
Yeah, if there are any other questions, you are more than welcome to drop me an email, sunny@renderfoundation.com. Or we have a brilliant support team, as I mentioned. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much covered everything.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.